Welcome to week 3 of the Long Dog vlog. I'm Brandy. I'm the indie dyer behind Long Dog Yarn. On Instagram, you can find me at Long Dog Yarn. That's where I'm most active on social media every day. This is my weekly vlog where I get to share my dyeing adventures, what I've been knitting each week, and whatever other fun things might pop up in my life here in Los Angeles. So let's see what week 3 has in store. I'm finally getting a quick moment to sit down, do inventory from my trunk show yesterday, and kind of decompress from all of that. I was very excited to have like something new and fun to vlog about. And then of course I didn't end up vlogging anything while I was there. It was just like a total whirlwind from the moment I arrived, and I didn't get a chance to kind of take a moment and take any video. It was like when I showed up, I was unpacking the yarn for the trunk show, and I hadn't even finished unpacking everything, and it was like whew, all these people just descended upon the table, which was a very nice welcome to receive, but just meant that the whole thing just went really fast, and then I was a horrible vlogger and didn't get anything, but I think it ended up going pretty well. Several people took time afterwards to tell me how much they enjoyed the presentation, and they found it very interesting and personable, which was a wonderful compliment to receive. And I think even though I was stressed out about it, as I talked last week about not really knowing what the expectations were for a presentation like that, I think in the end, going in without any expectations actually helped. My presentation was just all me, and I wasn't trying to fit into some mold of what I thought people wanted to hear. So I think that turned out pretty well, and the yarn was very well received, and it really was just a fun time. It reminded me how much fun it is to hang out with a group of people and just geek out over something that you all enjoy. I haven't had a knit night in a while, so just hanging out with other knitters and sharing, your passion for something was a really good time, a good experience. So thank you, North Coast Knitters Guild, for inviting me. After that, I just spent the rest of the day with my family down in San Diego, and we went out to eat dinner, and it was a really nice day. So now I've got to go through, do inventory, and get prepared for my next trunk show, which is exactly a week from today. I'm doing a trunk show at Make One Yarn Company, which is a local yarn shop here in LA, and it is one of my favorite yarn shops to do a trunk show at. Amanda and Marcy are really great hosts, and I love those ladies, so it's always a fun day to spend with them. And this will be my 3rd trunk show with them now, which is exciting. And even more exciting is Wednesday, I'm dropping off the yarn, and later on, Ambah OBrien is going to be stopping by for a trunk show of her design. So I'm not sure if I can stay until Ambah is there. I really want to meet her though, but my yarn will be there, so that's pretty exciting. I think it's a great opportunity for people to see Ambah's beautiful designs, shop some of my yarn. I think they're quite well suited to one another. And then I will be officially in the shop on Saturday to spend some time, and just busy. So I got a lot to do today. There's still a lot of yarn that I have on my list to dye up, and it's just go. The year is really starting off like no rest, but keeps me busy, so I can't complain. Today and the next several days, I expect, are going to be pretty heavy dye days. That's going to be what almost all my work is focused on, because there's a lot that I need to get finished for my trunk show at Make One. I have my list of everything that I want to get dyed up and bring with me. I always kind of go overboard on these things and have way more than I probably need to bring with me, but it's actually really hard to come up with a list of what to bring with me, and it never fails that somebody wants something that I didn't bring with me. But I always feel like it's never bad to be over prepared for these things and bring way more than you think you'll need, because you can't sell it if you didn't bring it with you. That's my motto. So that's today's goal. The first thing on the dye list are sparkly mini skein sets. So I originally created a unicorn themed set for last year's LA yarn crawl, and Miss Marcy of Make One requested that I bring some of those sets with me for my trunk show. So I know that is one thing was easy to put on the list, and it'll be easy to cross off. That'll be today's goal, to finish these mini skein sets, and then we'll just chug through and see how far we get. I have some squishy mail to share. All of these came from Miss Babs. I bought them during her annual gratitude sale. I got 2 sweater quantities worth that are hopefully going to go to crossing 2 patterns off of my Make 9 list for 2019, and then 1 skein that kind of sort of just found its way into my cart just because I couldn't help myself. So the first sweater quantity that I got are these gorgeous skeins of Unto the Night. That is the colorway, and it is on the Miss Babs Hot Shot base, which is an 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon fingering weight yarn. And holy cow, these are so gorgeous. It's like a deep purple leaning gray, slight variegation in the skeins. I love it so much more than I was expecting to love it when I bought it. I'm really smitten with these. I originally bought these to become a Mahonia cardigan, which is a design by Marie Amelie, but now that I've seen them in person, I've already changed my mind. Instead, I think they're going to become another design that's on my Make 9 list, which is the La Dame de Fer cardigan, also by Marie Amelie. And I've been coveting that pattern for a while now, and now that I see these skeins and have them in my hands, I really want to cast on. But I've got to finish one of the other sweaters that's on my needles right now, and then that's immediately going to be my next cast on. Really excited about that. The other sweater quantity that I bought is also on the Hot Shot base, and this colorway is called Tulipa. This is the one I originally picked out for the La Dame de Fer cardigan. But now that I've changed my mind, it's a little bit homeless. Was thinking of just doing a swap, and this would become the Mahonia, which I think would be quite beautiful. But I'm also eyeballing the Magnolia cardigan by Joji Locatelli. One, because I know the Magnolia cardigan would get a lot of wear in my wardrobe, especially in a beautiful color like this. And the only reason I'm kind of wavering on it is because the Magnolia cardigan is very clean palette, and I think it would serve well for a speckled yarn, and it can sometimes be hard to find garment patterns that go well with speckled yarn, so I'm kind of a little hesitant, but I mean, I could always make two, I guess. I never knit the same thing twice, so I don't want to say that. So I haven't fully committed because this beautiful tonal would really serve well in another pattern like the Mahonia that has beautiful stitches or lace. So that I'm kind of wavering on that, but with a yarn like this, it's not going to be that hard to, you know, commit to something. So hopefully it'll be something on my Make 9 list. If it's not, we might just fudge it and just say it was on my Make 9 list so I can cross it off and feel very accomplished. So that color doesn't quite have a home yet. I'm a little wavering, but I'm sure I will figure out something soon enough. And plus I've got like plans to cast on a million things. I've got time to figure it out. The last skein that I bought is this beautiful skein of Zombie Prom. That's the colorway on Miss Bab's Caroline base, which is a merino cashmere nylon blend. And I cannot resist Miss Bab's beautiful variegated yarns. They're so unique to her dyeing style, and like they speak to me. So I just had to get this, treat myself a little bit. This will just join my sock yarn stash. I don't think it'll last very long in the stash because it is so soft. It's got 20% cashmere, 70% superwash merino, 10% nylon. It is just like gorgeous to touch, gorgeous to look at. So this will probably become one of this year's socks because I cannot avoid it. Just gorgeous colors right up my alley with greens and purples and berries and silvery blues, and I mean, they all just go together. Can you tell what colors I like? So very excited to get these. Do they count as stash if you kind of have projects that they're going to go to? I don't think so. So pretty happy with that. I escaped the studio today, taking a break from trunk show preparation to go do something else nitty and fun. Heading to the Wild Fiber Studios here in Santa Monica. And I'm going to check out their Ambah OBrien trunk show that they're hosting this afternoon and hopefully get a chance to meet Ambah. So I'm really excited about that. And do some yarn shopping, of course. Haven't been to this shop in a while since I first moved here to LA. I think this was the first yarn store, local yarn store that I checked out when I moved to LA, and I just haven't had a chance to head back there yet. So I'm excited to see what other fun things they've got in stock since I've been there. So hopefully I'll remember to vlog something. had a great time, got to chat with Ambah and see a lot of her beautiful designs, which will actually help me out in preparing for what to bring with me to make one when she's there. So a little bit of secret spying research, and it was really great to chat with her. Also got to see a lot of my knitting Instagram friends and people who I had talked to and met at trunk shows and Stitches SoCal. It's kind of crazy to be recognized by that many people actually, but it was really nice. And I did a little damage, just one skein. I think that's pretty good for me. Self-control. Got some Stitch Together Studios, and the beautiful colorway is Witch's Garden, but man, look at those teals and purples. I could not leave that behind. So another skein to join the sock collection. So today's agenda is going to be yarn, and more yarn. I've got to finish skeining up these yarns for my trunk show. They are finished drying from my dye session on Sunday, so got to get them twisted up and labeled. So they're heading out to make one tomorrow. Then next on the list to get done today is catching up on dyed to order and custom order listings, because I've gotten pretty behind with how much I've been out of the studio and prepping for trunk shows, so I've gotten a bit behind on those, so I really need to catch up today, especially because I'm going to be out of the studio again tomorrow dropping off yarn. So hi Wolfies. So, lots to get done today, especially because I was a bit of a slacker yesterday. I don't know why, but the rainy day, I just feel like I didn't get very much done, even though I felt like I was working all day long. That's the way it goes sometimes. I just got some fun mail today. Look at this big box. Eee! This is a fun new toy that I didn't even know I needed. I saw another indie dyer, Brooke from Fully Spun, post about these little racks that are, I guess, made to be used by bakers for cooling racks and that sort of thing. But she posted on Instagram how she uses it for her dyeing business, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, I need that. So thank you, Brooke, for sharing that. I ordered it on like Saturday or Sunday, and it's already here. I can't believe how quickly it got here. And now I get to unpack it and put it together, and I'm really excited once I find some space for it in my little dye studio. But I'm really excited. I think it's gonna help me streamline dyeing and hopefully move through a few more skeins, so we'll see. Full-size catering pans are way too tiny for it. Womp womp. I don't know why I thought they would fit, just because I assumed they would. So I'm gonna have to look up what size baking tray fits on these and just buy 4 or 5 of the baking trays, and then I'll just put my dye pans on the baking trays, I guess. I'll make it work. I just don't get to use it today. Oh well. So after doing a little bit of research that I probably should have done before I bought the rack, this is one for baking sheets, not steam table trays. There's 2 different sizes, though the baking sheet ones seem to be much more predominant than the ones for the steam table pans, like the ones I use for my dyeing. So what I did was I just bought 5 of the baking sheets that fit this. Then I can put my pans on that when they arrive, and no biggie, it'll work. Till then, look, I don't know if this will actually stay once things are in it, but I could kitty corner the pans onto the rack because I'm sure that's very stable, and I want to put very hot liquids kitty corner without full support. I'll survive. I was just very excited about my baking rack and being able to use it. But in the meantime, this week on the knitting front, I didn't finish anything, but I made progress on 2 projects that I previously shared on the vlog. The first are my vanilla socks that I am knitting up, just cast on last week. These are knit using Knox Yarn Company Soul Sock, which is a gold stellina sock yarn. I can't remember the exact ratio of everything, but it's a merino nylon blend with some gold stellina mixed in there for sparkle. The colorway is called It's Not Fair, and it is a labyrinth inspired colorway, which I couldn't resist because I absolutely love that movie. And I'm really enjoying knitting these up because they're producing kind of like micro stripes. It's like a cross between variegated and micro striping, which is pretty fun to watch the colors play out. This has been my bedtime knitting. I've settled into a thing this year where I've formed a habit where before bed I like to just chill out and work on something that's really easy and just decompress from the day. So my go-to this week has been these vanilla socks. I mean, it's pretty mindless and I can just veg out for a little while before I hit the sack. So making a bit of progress on these before bed each night. I haven't measured them yet, so I'm not sure how much length I have. Maybe just over 3 inches, it looks like, just eyeballing these. I like to have my socks leg measure 6 inches. That's something I've found through the years. I used to go with 5 inches. That seemed pretty standard in the sock knitting world to have a leg of 5 inches. But as I've kind of done more and more and had more experience and worn my handmade socks more, I've really found that that 1 extra inch of length, I like the look of it more, and I also just enjoy the comfort of it more because my ankles often get cold all year long. So all of that is to say I've probably got at least 2 more inches to go on these before I hit the heel turn. So that might be a point of that I reach next week. The second project I have primarily been knitting on is my granito sweater. I have been pretty monogamous with this, which is unusual for me, but once I hit something that I really enjoy working on, I do tend to stick with it until something fancy and beautiful walks across my way and then I get distracted. But my granito sweater, it doesn't look a whole lot different than it did last week. I have reached the point in the knitting where it's kind of just straight body for miles, but I really wanted to reach the pocket separation for this week's vlog, and I just barely squeaked it in last night because I really wanted to have it for this week's vlog. I knit on this last night until I hit the pocket separation, and then so here we are. Nothing too fancy at this point, just looks like a giant gaping hole in my sweater, but I got at least one row done on the pocket separation. So yay, it was something new in the knitting to look forward to, which is another thing that always helps me drive my knitting, and because I wanted to show it off on the vlog, another thing that kept me going. As I mentioned before, I am knitting this with my own hand-dyed yarn, Long Dog yarn. I'm using my single base in the Topaz colorway. I'm alternating 2 skeins because I wasn't sure how this colorway was going to knit up. I'd never knit with it before, and I didn't want to get any pooling of the speckles and variegation in there. So I've probably just over halfway done with the 2 skeins that I'm alternating so far. So pretty good yardage on this knit, I have to say. And I already said this several times, but I'm really enjoying it. And really loving how the colorway is knitting up. And I'm already kind of contemplating, I haven't even finished the body of this one, kind of contemplating doing another version in a cardigan style. I cannot resist. Right now I'm totally about cardigans, and cardigans with pockets are like 2 ways to get straight into my knitting heart currently. So my goal for next week on this knit is to hopefully get the body finished. I've got to finish the pockets and the bottom ribbing, so I think there's about 6 inches left on the body on this, and so that's my goal for next week. I have another knitting goal as well, because I know once that body gets finished, I'm going to be on Sleeve Island, which is one of my dreaded places, and I currently have another cardigan on the needles that is stuck on Sleeve Island, so I need to set myself a goal of getting that sweater off of Sleeve Island before this one has to cast away, because if they're both on Sleeve Island, I cannot be held responsible for how long it will take me to finish them. So that is my other knitting goal, is to get my Elton cardigan off of Sleeve Island before Granito has to head there itself. So we'll see how that goes.